So welcome to the webinar for Multi-Jet Printing, Game Changer in Manufacture. I'm Barb Miller-Webb, and Scott Bradley is online with us today. This will be about a 20-minute to 25-minute webinar. We're going to discuss just one of the 3D print technologies from 3D Systems, which happens to be multi-jet printing. And we're going to talk about some applications that are right for this technology. It's our intent to have these on a regular basis, so certainly stay tuned for the next webinar where we'll be discussing stereolithography. So as I mentioned, 3D Systems offers 7 different technologies for 3D printing, everything from color jet printing to selective laser, centering metals and plastics. But today we're going to focus on multi-jet printing. So I want to start by showing you with a video of exactly how the multi-jet printing works and let you get a little bit better understanding, and then we'll go into more details here shortly.
We got it resolved. It was like talking about
Okay, well, hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight as to what 3D printing and how it works with multi-jet printing. So I want to talk a moment about the different flavors within the ProJet series, which is the ProJet 3500 that also include wax printers that are used for casting for jewelry, dental, things of that nature. As I said, you've got different flavors here. You'll notice there are more specifics listed underneath. But the thing I really want to point out here is that when this is printing one layer at a time, it actually prints in 32 micron all the way down to 16 micron layers, which really allows you to get that fine detail. In addition, you'll notice the build chamber size there, 11.75 by 7 by 3.8. There's 2 metal build plates provided with this technology. In addition, it comes with very high-end commercial grade 5-year print head because we're using a Xerox printer head, which is the top of the line. As you saw in the video, you noticed that the materials are very easy to load by pulling the drawer out, and you've got 2 for material, 2 for support structure, which are 2-kilogram containers. And of course, the control manual was on the front panel of the unit itself. So again, you've got your different resolution choices, as I mentioned, and certainly a lot of. I want to get further into the materials that are provided with this technology, and each of these materials really have a different property. They're all acrylate plastic, however, they have varying properties within that acrylate to allow them to react differently. For instance, the VisiJet M3 Black is really great for snap fit applications, and because it has a little flex and strength and durability, it's great for snap fits. If you take a look at the VisiJet M3X, that is again guide injection molded looking part, but it's got ABS type performance. So it's got high heat resistance at about 88 C and really doesn't suffer any post-temporary. Then you've got the VisiJet M3 Crystal. This is really a great product for all types of prototyping applications because it's almost a translucent type material, so you can achieve some really nice parts from that. So it's kind of a tough polypropylene vest-like performance. But the thing I really want to point out with that is the fact that it is a Class 6 certified material, so it's great for all medical applications. Important. So then when you go to the M3 ProPlast, the Navy, the TechPlast, again, those are really great material options for post-processing, like maybe painting, maybe dyeing, maybe plating your final parts if you needed to. And then the M3 ProCast. This material is really a great material that's for investment casting applications. So the mechanical properties work well for that. As I mentioned, the material is very easy and fast to change. It's a matter of pulling the drawer out, pulling out your 2-kilogram cartridge, putting in a new one. So you can adjust quickly to any needs and any type of part that's being printed. So as you might suspect, thousands of applications that are being used out there today in printing. But we can really condense it all down to about categories that are listed here. And so I want to talk about just a few examples of how the ProJet 3500 technology really can be in some of these options that are listed. So let's talk first about functional prototypes. With the Pro 3500, we can use that to create functional prototypes. And when I say that, I'm talking about testing form, testing fit, maybe assembly. You can really get some great hands-on feedback. You can do some great water testing. And why? Because this material, that's the acrylate material, is actually watertight, airtight. So it's not going to swell, it's not going to leak, it's not going to change colors if it's got some sort of humidity in the air. So it's really a great product. And I say that because if you take a look at the picture up in the right-hand corner, that's an example of Lawler Valve. Lawler Valve actually brought this technology in, 3500 technology in, because they wanted to test their valves with plastic, not with the real brass that they had been. And by doing that, well, to recreate their valve body designs, and actually had a body weight reduction of 8 pounds of brass. They had a savings in shipping that was annual over about $95,000 a year, and a savings of over 24,000 pounds of brass per year. So that was really significant by being a ProJet 3500 technology. Again, the whole purpose is really just to help reduce costs of materials and assemblies with your designs. So let's talk about another application. This is an example of rapid tooling. And as you know, RTV molding is very popular, and it enables you to do low-volume molding of parts, so you can verify your whole manufacturing process before you start to commit to those really expensive tools. So this video that's running right now shows you really just how tough a 3D printed tool can be. The mold that you see here actually was 3D printed on a Projet 3510 and is used to hydroform the sheet metal part. So it actually can withstand up to about 5,000 psi of pressure on repeated runs. So again, a great application for RTV, for running jigs, fixtures. It really helps to start up your whole manufacturing much faster by using this technology. So here's another example of a customer that actually produces currency validation systems or your coupon cash acceptors. They actually are using the Projet 3500 in the electronics field for being able to produce prototypes or mock-ups and actually do functional testing to actually test it within the machine. And they decided to bring this in-house instead of use Service Bureau, where they were able to save a lot of money, a lot of time in doing quick validations. Of course, they're also used in creating custom consumer products because of the fact that we're using a wax, so they can get that trapped wax capability that you can't get with some of the other technologies. I'm bringing up the Projet 5000 because this is a big sister to the Projet 3510, and I say that because if you take a look at the build chamber size on this, which is about 21 by 15 by 12, this really allows you to do the very same thing you did with the Projet 3510, has the very same process, but allows you to do much bigger parts, as you can see here in some of these examples on the parts that I've got showing. So again, same accuracy surface, but bigger parts. So as I mentioned, I think previously, you can do some various finishing applications to these parts. I want to talk about a couple of those. As I said, the parts can be painted, they can be plated, they can even be drilled. And the other nice thing about it is even if your parts are too large to fit into the build chamber, you can slice your parts in CAD. And I've had a lot of customers that have had success with that. They'll simply slice it in their CAD before they send it over, and from that point then they'll simply use a bonding agent of some sort, whether it's super glue or epoxy or something along that line. But in this case, before you paint, the biggest thing is make sure that you have good post-processing. You want to prime your products, and you want to use a high-quality paint application. Another great finishing application, kind of an advanced finishing application, is being able to clear coat. Clear coat can really add a professional finish to it. And if you remember one of the materials that we talked about earlier, the VisiJet crystal, which is actually this particular part right here, the almost clear. Apply a clear coat to that, which can be done with a spray can or a paint gun or something along that line. You can almost get a transient type part out of it. So I want to just kind of show you one more time a couple of other applications that are being in the Projet 3500 series, so you can get a good feel for what they're doing.
What could you do an in-house 3D printing solution, accurate concept modeling, end-use manufacturing, functional prototyping right there in your own office. And you can do it all with the Projet 3500 series of 3D printers and 3D systems. The workforce of the 3D systems line, the Projet 3500 provides precise, user-friendly, flexible 3D printing, a system that's tuned especially for professional-level production and office.
With the Projet 3500 series, I can print medical models, sharp edges, and intricate details.
Prototype quickly and accurately. High output is a problem with the Projet 3500. So you can quickly print detailed design iterations, perfect the product, and address problems quickly.
With the Projet 3500, I can create usable clips for my backpack design.
Create functional parts. Parts produced on the Projet 3500 can be drilled, painted, and plated. Whatever it takes so that you can see your part move and interact with other components. The Projet 3500 allows me to create production-ready,
custom casting patterns for medical implants.
Produce real wax patterns. The ProJet 3500 produces professional-grade wax patterns so you can streamline your process and go straight to direct investment casting. Work seamlessly. An intuitive touchscreen interface and our Print 3D app for your tablet or smartphone means you spend more time on production and less time on instructions. Enjoy reliability. The ProJet 3500 is the only 3D printer that saves you money with a 5-year printhead warranty. 3D Systems ProJet 3500 series are sold and serviced through our global network of authorized reseller partners. Contact your local reseller or visit www.3dsystems.com to see how we can help you manufacture the future.
So let me just kind of go through a few more details, if I could, about how this whole process works. First of all, the way that it works is on your build plate, you're going to have a layer of wax. That's basically a paraffin wax initially. And so when you're getting ready to print, it's going to have about 264 print droplets from the print head. So a molten drop of that material is actually jetted from the print head, and the wax component below causes the drop to freeze upon contact, and it's going to remain in place until it uses a UV ray to cure it. So you're really getting much better control and less waste that's really involved in this. The nice thing about it is, again, you're taking one slice at a time, so it's taking a slice of your model and continuing to do that over and over to build from the bottom up, if you will. The nice thing about this is you don't have to worry about any printhead purging, anything of that nature. Everything occurs automatically, and it's less expensive to build because your support material is a wax, so it's much lower cost than the actual material itself. The print time on this technology is going to be just about 2 hours per inch, and your cost is going to be about $6 per cubic inch. And one other further thing I wanted to note is that the automatic support is placed. You do not need to determine where it's going to place that wax or support material. So that's automatically done with the software itself. The other nice thing about it is that support removal is very easy. There's no damaging and requiring that, and I'll talk in just a moment about how you remove support material or the wax from the actual part itself. So how does the job submit and setup work? Well, first of all, it's very easy. You can use it from any workstation on any work, or you can dedicate a computer if you want to. The software automatically places the part, so you don't have to if you don't want to. So there's really no special skills loaded, involved in that. The other nice thing is that once you've submitted, you can go on about your way. You can shut down your workstation, or you can go do something else for other tasks. So it doesn't really tie up your workstation. And if you notice below, there's an icon toolbar. It's got a lot of different file editing tools from this. So again, you've got a lot of capability there. The other thing I wanted to point out is that with this technology, it's great because you can nest parts. So even if you stack and nest parts, it's going to have a layer of wax in between. And by being able to do that, you can stack those shorter parts within the taller parts to gain additional throughput, and really not going to affect your build time at all. It's still going to be the same amount of build time. That's the beauty of this. The other thing I want to point out is that you've got a wide pass printhead design, which eliminates numerous print passes for your full platform as it's building on the platform. So you can build more parts and larger parts in a lot less time. The other thing I want to talk about here is easy connectivity, and I talked about it a moment in the video, but the beauty of this is your Print 3D app is available on either your iPhone devices or your Android tablet, smartphone, so you can really access the printer from anywhere. You don't have to access it straight from the 3D printer itself. So that makes it much easier if you're off-site or you want to be able to manage your materials, you know, or want to be able to find out when the print's going to start, when it's going to stop. Also, you can find out how much material possibly might be used while that actual print, how long it's going to take. So you really get to see a lot of information and job history with this. So really, the 3D printing is really just as easy as 1, 2, 3. It's a matter of removing the build platform that's got the parts on it. And as I said, you get 2 of them. And you're going to insert the clean build platform. You're going to press the start button and start printing whatever you've got in your job queue. So as I said, you're going to export it out of your CAD as an STL, import it into the software that comes along with the printer, basically orient your part, hit print, and you're ready to go. Again, no manual print head cleaning is required for this, no printer cleaning, no purging of the print heads, no calibration, so it's a very easy process. So I want to move on to the support removal process, if I could. And I think this is very key, something I really point out. As it mentioned, of course, it puts a layer of wax on the bottom before the part starts to be produced, and it will apply the wax where it needs support material applied. But the beauty of this is that once you're done, you pull all your parts off that metal build plate, put them all into a finishing oven, and you're going to put it in that finishing oven at about 60 C for 15, 20 minutes, depending on the part itself. The beauty of that is that it's hands-free, don't have to do anything. You put all your parts in there together, and it saves you a lot of time. So the wax will melt out of those areas, and there's no force that's actually applied, no chemicals that are required for this. What some people do is if they've got really intricate parts, sometimes they'll use cleaner, and that actually removes the wax from the deep areas of geometry as well. Again, with the wax supports, they're inert, and so there's no special disposal required. It's going to accumulate, the wax will accumulate in a pan down below. Simply, quite frankly, take that and melt it, throw it in the trash, and you're good. Again, there's no fist required because there's no plumbing. So really what you're able to get out of this technology is just as I said. If you notice in the right-hand corner, that's of the crystal material. You can also almost make it translucent with a clear coat, but you can get the fine detail, no support scars, no sanding, ready, paint-ready surface quality, and actually look like injection molded parts. There's no stair-stepping involved on this type of technique. And again, you get very fine detail, with tolerances from 1,000s to 2,000s, which is huge industry. So something I'd like to just do here real quickly is I really would like to go through a case study. So this is one example of a customer who actually was using this technology. And they're using the ProJet 3500. What I found was that with the high precision 3D printed mock-ups, they were, of their wristwatch designs, they were able to improve the quality, save 3 times the installation cost of a ProJet 3500 within 6 months. So in all honesty, that is huge, I think, in this industry. Really, to maintain their development strategy, Citizen kind of relied on in-house prototyping. And before they got there, they used NC lathes in the machining center to create mock-ups for their final watch designs and assembly jigs. And obviously, though, that type of machining is costs and time delays, as you know. However, they decided to explore the 3D printing to help reduce that development time. And as I said, they were able to save certainly a lot of money within 6 months. They're using their ProJet 3500 to magnify and also print tiny structural parts that are 3 times their actual size to examine their movement and invent new assembly jigs. So it really allowed them to transform about a 20 to 30% into an overnight production. And now they've incorporated that into their workflow as a really powerful development tool for them. So, in summary, applications that are used for the ProJet 3500 are great for communication parts, great for form fit, testing, as I said, because they're airtight, great for tooling applications as well. So hopefully that's giving you a little bit of insight as to what you can, some of these parts, and how they might be able to help you. Before we go further, though, I want to have Scott Bradley just kind of go through a polling question.
Okay, thank you, Barb. Our main objective with the educational 3D print series is to provide better and relevant information for 3D printing. We'd like to clear up any confusion that pertains to all the different technologies that are available, and we have 3 questions that we would like to take a moment to ask that will help us gauge our information and improve as we progress through this series. So our first question, we'd like to start 3D printing educational webinars. Okay, and if everyone would just go ahead and make a selection there, yes or no. Second, would you consider this 3D printing educational webinar a valuable use of your time? Okay, then on to our last question here. I contacted by D3 Technologies to discuss your applications for 3D printing. Okay, and thank you. Then anyone may have questions, they can reach Barb and myself here at D3 Technologies. Our number here is 877-7171. We can discuss the specific questions you may have or how to adapt different technologies to your unique application. And thank you for attending today.
Everyone. Yep, thank you everyone for attending, and we'll see you guys time. Have a good day.